indie events, as long as nothing is taped for pay-per-views or DVDs or anything like that. So he can go and he can work matches, and as long as, like I said, no DVDs, no pay-per-views, nothing like that. And I would expect the deal with a lot of people asking about Ring of Honor, the deal with that is they've been in talks and haven't reached a deal on money just yet. You got to understand that Danielson, before he left Ring of Honor for WWE, was not all that highly paid. And when you go to WWE and then you get fired, your name value,
Not a doubt.
and especially the angle. I mean, what a perfect time for him to leave WWE. I mean, his stock right now.
Oh, for sure. It's high as hell.
On the indie scene, oh my God, everybody wants him, and he's coming off the top angle in WWE. So it's like, if there was ever a time, especially from a guy that made his name on the indie scene, if there was ever a time to go back to the indie scene, now is the time to do it. And I mean, that's the deal with Ring of Honor, where he wants a lot more money than.
Not only working for WWE though, is just that the firing, gave him so much media. Even like I think on your site you had earlier, PETA's backing him, like all, I'm saying all these different people.
That's crazy. That's PETA of all people backing Bryan Danielson. I guess it's because he's a vegetarian or what is it?
A vegan.
Vegan.
Yeah, he's a vegan. He don't eat animals, so we back him.
PETA. Oh my God! What's PETA stand for?
I don't know.
They're against people that. Yeah, something with that. They're against people that wear fur and leather and tiger. I don't know, dude. Whatever.
Yeah. There's the people you see with the cans of red paint, throwing them on people that are wearing fur, saying, "What is it?" Fur?
No, they used to do the shit with the flour, right? Didn't they used to throw flour at people?
Yeah. Well, they were doing paint for a while.
Paint, Jesus. Did you see? Remember? Okay, last week they had. This has nothing to do with wrestling, but last week they had. You know how they had the BP executives and they testified before Congress?
Yeah.
Well, this lady runs in. I don't know if you guys saw this on the news, but this lady runs in and she's fucking covered head to toe with oil, and she starts screaming, "You're to blame for this, this is an outrage, blah, blah, blah," and she was covered from head to toe. She must have just smeared herself with oil or something, I don't know.
Fucking awesome.
People are fucking crazy. People are people are nuts, dude, But, alright, here we go. WWE Fatal 4-Way from this past Sunday night. Top to bottom, man, what'd you think?
I'm not gonna even lie to you. I didn't really expect a whole lot going in, but I thought, it was a pretty solid card. And once again, something I predicted last week on our show was the best match of the night, if they would add it on, was going to be Jericho and Evan Bourne, and they added it on. And in my opinion, that was the match of the night.
Well, Evan Bourne and Chris Jericho. Well, I mean, you're right. We talked about it last week, where on paper, I mean, Chris Jericho can work a match with anybody. You can put Chris Jericho in there with Great Khali, and he could have a 5-star match. Obviously, that's an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. He can carry a match with anybody. And Evan Bourne, I mean, Jesus, we all know Evan Bourne. I mean, he's a high, Evan Bourne, Chris Jericho. And then they did the rematch on Raw, so that was cool to see.
Yeah.
And it seemed, I don't think that's over, you know what I mean, where they're going to continue that storyline. So, I thought, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, the one other interesting thing I really thought about this show was, how McMahon pretty much considers New York fans his, basically his pulse and thinks they represent the WWE universe?
Right.
So, in my opinion, that makes the whole Daniel Bryan chance at the end even more interesting. You know what I'm saying? He bases the New York shows off what people want,
Yeah, there was a loud chant right at the beginning. Right when he came out and said that Bret Hart wouldn't be there. I mean, there was a loud, audible chant there. And I guess it happened, I think it happened before the show, too, I read in a fan report, something along those lines. But he wasn't, one of the things is, even though they're house shows, he is normally at the Madison Square Garden events because it's not that far. I mean, he lives right there, just outside of Stamford in, Greenwich Village or whatever. So he lives, he's right there, so it's not that far of a trip to make. So usually he attends the house shows at MSG, and he wasn't there this past Saturday night. So I don't know what the deal is behind that. It may have just been, something something may have came up. I wouldn't read much into that, but nonetheless, he wasn't there. You know what else? We never talked about this, but not last week at Raw, but 2 weeks ago, he arrived at Raw with two black guys. Did we talk about this or no?
I can't remember anymore.
he had two black guys, and then there was like a long scar. Looked like a scar, just a long scrape that went up through his forehead. And I haven't posted the update on the websites, but a lot of people are thinking that he had some sort of cosmetic surgery. And that's all that's known about that. I haven't put that up on the website, but people
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, people, I don't know what the deal is, but some people, there's been talk that it was cosmetic surgery. So I don't know anything more. There'll be a report coming on that in the next few days. Got it typed up. I just got to put it up on the website. So.
Well, what did you think of Fatal 4-Way?
I thought it was good. I thought it was decent, man. There were some good matches. The NXT stuff continued. Big fan of the storyline. The problem is how many more times can they continue to attack? You know what I mean? You've got to go a different route at some point, and it seems like we've got to the point now where week after week it's the same attack. You know what I mean? And I think we'll talk about it when we get to Raw, bro, but I think what's going to happen is NXT will obviously continue to overcome the Raw talent, the Raw roster, and then somebody will show up. I can see it now. There'll be a complete beatdown of all the Raw stars in the ring. Triple H's music hits. Out he comes with the sledgehammer, clears the ring, and Triple H and all the Raw talent stands strong, and Triple H is going to be the guy that comes in, and it makes perfect sense. And this is W. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to spoil it or anything, but it just seems like, Triple H is expected to be back fairly soon here, and now it would make sense. And let me ask you something. Well, we'll save it for Raw, but didn't a limo arrive to Raw last night?
Yes.
And did I miss something? Did somebody get out of that limo?
No, I didn't. They went right to commercial break with the limo.
Right, and we never. What was that limo for? Unless I missed it. If I missed it too, but I'm thinking what they did it for. At the time, I didn't really get it. I'm just kind of thinking they're trying to add more mystery to who's driving the limo. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's true. The limo pulled up,
yeah.
And we're trying to find out. Okay, so basically the new Raw general manager is also the person that's driving the limo.
Yeah, I guess so.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a new general manager that's driving the limo. They didn't really say that, but
right.
Who knows?
See, this is what I like. This is what This is what I miss about WWE, man. When you're thinking, are they gonna go this way? Are they gonna go that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's so many ways they can go with it. So that's what makes it even more beautiful. Leaves you guessing.
Right, exactly. WZROnline.com/chat. WZROnline.com/chat. Get to the live chat room right now. We got lots of people in there tonight. Always lots. Oh, yeah. Always lots and lots of people in there tonight. So get to the live chat room. Here we go, man. Fatal 4-Way, top to bottom. We're going to run it down. We opened the show. Vince McMahon came out. And basically, like I said earlier, Bret Hart is not going to be there because of the NXT attack. And basically, Vince says he's going to go meet with Bret's team, Bret's representatives. And, that was that.
Yeah, that was pretty much that.
We had Kofi Kingston against Drew McIntyre for the IC title. This was they gave this a good 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Oh yeah, they gave it. I think it was like around 20 minutes, but. I don't know. I thought it was a good match, but I just thought it was, like any other regular match you'd see on SmackDown.
I'll tell you what, the pop that, God, you guys know how I feel about Matt Hardy, but the pop that he got, yeah, my favorite, right? the pop that he got when he ran out, you know what? Vince actually had ordered, before he left, he had ordered Teddy Long
out to the ring.
Right, to sit ringside, and basically what happened here is there was a ref bump, and Teddy Long was forced to put on a referee shirt, which is interesting because you guys, a lot of you guys probably remember this, but Teddy Long used to be a referee in WCW and WWE before he left that role and became general manager. So it's kind of weird to see him back in that role. And so he puts on the referee shirt. Matt Hardy runs out and hits a twist of fate on Drew. And Kofi Kingston, what's his finisher there? Trouble in Paradise, right?
Yep. I think something like that shit.
Right, hit that for the pin, and
he got the win. Man.
Good match.
Oh, if anything though, it advanced the Matt Hardy Drew McIntyre feud, so that's cool.
Yeah, but Matt Hardy, it almost seems like that's a storyline that's constant. Well, 1 week he's fired, the next week he's suspended, next week he's back. You know what I mean? It's
sure.
Whatever.
I don't know. It's whatever with them.
Fuck Matt Hardy. They announced this. I put up a note on this earlier in the day where we had learned that they were going to do the Hart Dynasty versus the Uso brothers, and goddamn, man, this is one of those feuds that I know the Uso brothers are real green, and a lot of people feel that they shouldn't have been called up this quick. But this is a feud, okay? When I first saw this and the Usos came out, and I'm thinking, okay, the Hart Dynasty versus the Uso brothers, this could turn into something.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Sure. Especially with the Usos laying them out the first 2 weeks.
Right. They could have done a long, drawn-out storyline with the Hart Dynasty and the Uso brothers, and it just seemed to me like, with no build whatsoever. I mean, they just announced. I don't know. Was it a backstage segment? Yeah, it was a backstage segment.
Yeah, with the Hart Dynasty.
Right.
Dude, I think the feeling I got from it is I just feel like after watching that match it's like, the WWE's idea for the Usos to contend must have been dropped because, like I said, they didn't look like contenders. They barely looked like they belonged in the ring in that match.
Yeah, well, they're awful green, and a lot of people are, they may have been called up too quickly, but it's just a matter of, like somebody said in the chat room, who was it? Wally76er says it's two family wrestling feuds, which is exactly right. I mean, you've got all those names in there, and to just go in there and with no build whatsoever and just do it on a pay-per-view as a filler match, you know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah. Sometimes I think otherwise of, if it was me that was doing the booking, obviously I'm not. I've got to deal with what they put in front of you, but it's just, I don't know. I mean, you could have done
so much better.
Yeah, exactly.
They could have given that a nice little build. I thought they had a nice build-up going after like I said, the first 2 weeks when they showed up, they laid out the Hart Dynasty, and then after that, it's like nothing.
Yeah, we had, we moved on. We had a Divas match. This was, typical Divas match. God, they got booed out of the building in Madison Square Garden. That was the talk backstage, man, because even though, as I said earlier, Vince McMahon wasn't at the Madison Square Garden show, all the agents are, and they report that stuff back to Vince. Good or bad, all of it gets reported back to Vince. So, it was a topic of discussion back